My name is Charlotte Elise Westwood, but you can call me Charlie. I was raised in one of the 7 esteemed noble families of Azmarin. I will admit I lived quite the privileged life growing up the only child of Rylan Westwood and Giselle Montecroy, but my parents were diligent in expanding my experiences beyond our manor. Before the incursion, my days consisted of reading, writing, studying ancient languages, and socializing with the other noble families, all in the effort of becoming, as my family would say, an accomplished young woman who would be suitable for marriage. Yet, even with the pressure of being the last Westwood, I felt an undeniable calling elsewhere, a duty beyond that of an overqualified housewife. Through the years, I began to appreciate the beauty in all of the creatures with whom I shared the world. In an effort to honor the abundance of life around me, I took an oath of pacifism at a young age. Violence only begets violence, and I refused to take part in perpetuating that cycle. This oath came under test as my home was ravaged by other planar creatures, but I stand firm in my commitment to peace. Despite the terrors that any one individual is capable of, there is good to be found in every sentient life. It is a gift to see the potential in others, but it is an even greater gift to help them see it within themselves.
Hello, welcome to my library, humble though it may be. My name is Tyrion Cariadis, and I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. My story? Well, I was born here in Azmarin, in the Scholars' Village. My father was a learned man of the arcane before he passed, and I found myself inspired to learn all that I could to follow in his footsteps. Magic has always fascinated me, and I endeavoured myself, as I do in most things, to be my utmost best at it. I devoted myself to the Temple of Ioun, and all the knowledge contained therein. When not sleeping or tending to my other duties, I was sure to be found within the temple's wondrous library. I'd held more pages than could ever be read in a given lifetime, but that was a challenge I was willing to take on. I was excelling in my studies, and the future seemed open with potential. I had hope, I had possibilities, I had a plan, I still remember the smoke and the heat of the inferno. The Scholars' Village burned. We didn't know it at the time, but a devilish incursion was taking over the city. We did all within our power to rescue what books and knowledge we could, but we lost more than we ever dreamed. The temple burned along with the library. It's all gone now. My mother died in the fire as well. Had I known, in my anger and pain, I looked for a new purpose, a new path. I wanted revenge. So I joined the fledgling rebellion. Myself and my party of revolutionaries struck back against the devils. We felt unstoppable, like we were making a real difference. But one day we fell into an ambush. I was the only one to survive. I had so much. I have little now. The one thing that I'm trying my best not to lose is hope, but every day makes that harder to hold on to.
Hello, hey, I'm down here. Hi, I'm Briar, and this is my clock tower. I usually don't let anyone up here, but I guess you can be allowed because I know you can keep a secret. I've been in Azmarin for a while now. I left home after my folks kicked me out. They said our family was too poor for me to stay home and be a dead weight good for nothing. Anyway, that doesn't matter because I can take care of myself. Things were hard when I first got here, but after a while I realized I am good for something after all, and that's being sneaky. And luckily I found a way to get paid for that through the Thieves Guild. I've done pretty well by taking the jobs that no one else wants. You know, just little baby crimes like tiny theft and teensy-weensy spying on people. But after the devils came, those jobs became almost impossible to find. I had no idea how hard life was going to be after the incursion. I managed to stay out of it for a while, but I have a bad habit of finding myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then one night everything changed. I was running for my life, as you do, and I found this lady who was dying. And then she shoved this into my hands. This is Najwa. Well, I call her that now, but at first I didn't know what to do with her. Books are usually very boring, but she's teaching me all kinds of new things. It's all mostly in pictures because I'm not a super good reader, but I'm going to figure it out. Najwa's my best friend. So that's how I ended up joining the rebellion. It was all her idea. I wouldn't have bothered, but she gets so mopey when we don't do what she wants to do, and I would do anything to make her happy. She says we have a very important job to do together, so I'm just following her lead. Anyway, enough of that boring stuff. Time to eat. I would offer you some of this bread, but everyone knows that ghosts can't eat.
You can call me Jude. Jude Laurent if you really want to know. I was born here, in the heart of Azmarin. Rather shine her light and bless my birth. At least that's what my mother used to say. Used to. My life was fine, okay at best. I had a loving mother and a father who inspired me to be strong. He taught me to fight. He taught me to protect my own. I joined the city guard because of him. He taught me, most importantly, to survive. I'm a survivor. That's what you do in Azmarin. This city of pseudo-peace and gilded gold. You hold your head up and you survive. When your father dies, you survive. When all is lost and a judgmental man picks you and your mother up from the ashes, you survive. And when the world comes crashing down in infernal flame, you do what you must to survive. None of that matters now. Life as we know it is nothing more than delaying the inevitable. The devil's won. What can we do now? But I think of my mother, what she was. I think of my father. I think of what he wanted, what he fought for. I fight back for him. I fight back because I need to make things right. For him. For her. For everyone.
Welcome to the stream. This is the premiere of Ashes of Azmarin, a short-term campaign set, if you're familiar with Azmarin lore, 15 years in the past. Today joining me, I have a host of beautiful, wonderful, amazing people. And, I don't think we have very many announcements we need to do before we go ahead and get started. What? Oh, the corruption bar, you're right. Where are all of our web captions? Hold on. Mindy, why don't you talk about our sponsors?
Oh, do you like coffee? Found Familiar Coffee has some pretty great coffee. We love them. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure our very own Derek is actually having some Found Familiar coffee this morning.
I do. I have some regular Knoll. It is quite good.
You can put coffee ice cream in your coffee. That's a thing that you can do. I learned today. Mm-hmm. So if you want to up the fantasticness of your Found Familiar coffee, that's an option you have.
Thanks for cheering.
I have a cafe au lait.
Oh no. We also have campaign coins. They're the peoples with the meeples. That's the thing, right? That's I didn't.
It is. Right? That's the thing.
Okay. They got some really great quality. The words don't run in my head.
Coins.
That's not what I was gonna say, but I'll go with that. They got some really great coins. We also game accessories. There we go. Accessories. That was the word I was looking for. We got some really great game accessories, which you can check. Oh, thanks.
Oh,
we also have dryad tea, where you can get all kinds of different blends. I'm pretty sure that's another thing that we are enjoying this morning, correct? Dryad tea? Yes? No?
Not over here.
Not over here?
Oh, after our sponsors, actually, we should talk about something really quick. We should talk about our mechanics in which you can interact with the game. You can interact with the game one of two ways. You can either give crits and advantages to your fellow players. You can do that through donations or cheering. It's better to do donations because we get more of the money and Twitch doesn't take it all. But if you have bits and you want to spend them, knock yourself out. The second thing that you can do is to donate to corruption. And corruption, oh, thank you, Mitch T.
Of course.
Corruption is this little bar right here. It's not very visible because I just made it, but you can see it right here. Essentially will fuck with the game. And if you want to see how it works, just donate to it. Yeah, that's really what I have to say about that.
You know, just like wait like a session or two.
Or
and
don't.
See.
It's up to you. Don't let her tell you how to live your life, chat.
What could go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. Another note is that this, I should explain, this campaign takes place during the devilish incursion of Azmarin. And we are currently in the 6th month of that. Oh, someone just tipped $30, so that means we have 1 level of corruption. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Thank you, Goat. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let me add this corruption bar. And then we will get started.
Yeah, it could totally. Never mind. It's fine. I was gonna say it could be crits, but no, I don't think it is.
No, Minnie, keep that hope. That's going to be really important.
Okay. I'm not nervous. You're nervous. Actually, Omega, can you share a link to the artist in chat for me?
I can do that
great.
for you. That's my friend.
Yeah, great recommendation. And if that's all, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. In the city of Azmarin, there is a darkened tavern. The outside of this tavern is run down, wood paneling that's falling apart. It's been burned a few times, you can tell from the outside. If you were to go inside, you would see a desolate, near empty bar. But that's not where this story takes place. This story takes place underneath this tavern. Around back there is a cellar entrance. An entrance that is hidden by a large tarp covered in some crates that are only moved upon entry. Who is the first person in this room?
I will be.
Why don't you describe yourself?
Tyrion is a human-looking individual, about 6'1", slighter frame. He wears a lot of blues and coppers. He's dressed in kind of a heavier coat with a cloak over it, vest underneath, copper buttons, glasses that kind of slide down his narrow nose. He has blonde hair that is so light it almost looks white. If you were to see Tyrion before the incursion, he would have a clean-shaved face, his hair would be well kept, clothes would be well laundered, but in the incursion and during the occupation, he hasn't really found the time or motivation to really shave. He's got a decent amount of stubble growing. His hair is slightly out of place. His clothes have the wear and tear of moving about the city without being mended as they probably should be. He's looking over a book right now, old tattered leather book with kind of some singed edges to it and clear signs of fire damage.
Tyrion, you are the first person in this room, but you are not alone. With you is a young human man, maybe about 5'7", 5'8", kind of pale skin, long brown hair that's tied in a ponytail behind him. His name is Dave. You are familiar with Dave because Dave is your handler. Tyrion, are you nervous?
You want me to be honest, or do you want me to lie?
You can be honest with me, Tyrion.
Yes, I'm constantly nervous. At literally every second of my waking hours, I am nervous, yes.
Well, I was specifically talking about meeting this new group.
That would be the top of my list of anxieties for sure, at this current moment.
Do you know anything about... have they told you about them? Have they given you any of their names or anything?
No, they told me there would be 3 of them. But beyond that, I have no idea.
All right. Well, you know, it's terrible luck what happened to you.
Yeah, that does. I don't really want to talk about it right now, if that's all right, Dave.
Sure, Tyrion. Sure.
Just if you happen to see some new faces, just let me know.
Who is the second person to enter?
Give me.
Charlie. Why don't you describe what Charlie looks like as she enters this cellar?
I don't know if she would. She looks a little lost. She is human, very well kept. She definitely looks a little out of place. Her hair is tied back out of her face in a very wow, struggling with words today. A very clean and functional way. Her attire is definitely a little on the fancier end. It is evident that she comes from money. She, despite looking a little lost, definitely a few glances of, am I really supposed to be? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this it? She still holds herself with a light air of confidence. Yeah.
Charlie, as you descend down these narrow stair steps into this sort of dingy cellar, what you see around you is maybe a 15 by 15 foot room with a writing desk in the corner, a map of Azmarin plastered haphazardly on the wall, and what looks to be a dining room table at which there are 5 seats. One at the head, which there is a human man, as I described, with brown hair and a ponytail. And seated on his right is a familiar face to you. You recognize Tyrion from the library that you used to visit before the incursion. although admittedly much different now.
Tyrion, I didn't expect to see you here.
I will turn to the gentleman that I don't know. Hi, I'm Charlie, Charlotte Westwood. Charlie, please. I think I'm in the right place.
I'm Dave. It's nice to meet you. He'll stand up and shake your hand.
Miss Westwood, are you lost?
I don't think so. I avoided the conflict as long as I could, but no, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Didn't expect to see you here, though.
I have to say the same for you. You're honestly the last person that I thought I would see here. I don't mean that as any offense. I'm surprised as
Just because I don't wield a sword doesn't mean I can't contribute somehow.
No,
And I will take a
it's-
seat across from him.
Right. Well, we're glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here, I think. No, I am. How many more are we waiting for? Just 2?
I don't know how much information I would have had coming
Not
in.
a lot.
Probably not a lot or any.
About that much. You're on the right track.
Okay.
Tyrion will turn to Dave. Is she one of the 3?
Yeah. We we form these groups based on skill and well.
No, good. That's fantastic.
He kind of like turns to you like a little. Is everything okay?
Yes. Everything is super good.
Who is the third person to enter?
So, I think the next time that the door opens, people might glance up and not see anything immediately. But kind of tucked back against the wall, having just sidled in, is a very slight, small gnome. The majority of the length of her kind of long mint green hair is tucked into the back of her clothing, and she has a hood that she has pulled up over her face. Briar is very simply dressed, mostly blacks and browns, kind of hobbled together leather armor. You do see that she is clutching what appears to be not normally a large book, but held up against her frame, it looks quite large. As soon as I kind of sidle in and clutching the book to my chest, I just say, "Okay, Najwa, don't freak out, okay? It's gonna be fine. I've got you. As long as we don't get separated, we can't get separated, I guess. But as long as we don't get separated, and as long as you behave yourself, maybe we can just get in and get out of this easy." And I'll kind of start to approach the table, keeping a very wary eye on the people seated at it.
You see Charlie and Tyrion as described, and Dave as described. You met Dave. Dave was basically the guy you spoke to when you joined the rebellion. He stands up and walks over and holds out his hand to you. Briar, right? It's good to see you again.
I take the book and I just go at his hand. I'm just kidding. I'll shake it.
Well, these are Tyrion and Charlie. We're just waiting on one more.
Hello.
Hello, miss.
Nice to meet you.
Who are you?
I'm Tyrion Cariadis. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Your name?
My name is Briar.
Briar.
I'll pull my hood back so they can see my face. If we're sitting at a table that's in kind of close proximity with one another, you would definitely see now that her eyes immediately kind of give you heebie-jeebies, rather than kind of looking like the normal flat surface of a humanoid eye. It looks like you're kind of looking into two really deep, dark holes. Hello.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Charlie Westwood.
Gee, you're fancy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Briar, what are you reading?
Do you think it's okay to tell them? I'll whisper to the book on the table.
Do we hear you whisper to your book?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100.
Fantastic.
That's privileged information, but, yeah. Do you like that, Dave? I heard that somewhere.
All right, then. I hope it's a good read, whatever it is.
It is. I'm an excellent reader, and I'm good at this, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Tyrion, can I have you make a perception check, please? I'm assuming you would like to look at this book.
Yeah, well, the thing about Tyrion is he might not have even noticed Briar's spooky eyes because he doesn't typically make eye-to-eye contact. It makes him uncomfortable. It's a 16, so yeah, he would have definitely been focused on the book just as a point of reference to look towards Briar when he speaks.
The book appears to be blank. In all ways possible. There's no title. There does not seem to be any writing on any of the pages. It looks old, though.
He'll probably just reason maybe it's a new journal.
Yeah.
Or a sketchbook or something.
Yeah. Make whatever assumptions about it you will.
Well, Briar, if you enjoy reading so much, I certainly have a long list of recommendations that I can make. Perhaps we could have a small book club.
He's very good at recommending books.
And at that moment,
sliding under the table.
And at that moment, Briar is saved by the bell.
You would hear one big on the doorway. Just not to be like, I'm here, but just a form of respect that someone's walking into the room. And as Jude walks in, the first thing you would see is his somewhat shorter length, chestnutty hair, kind of going to one side. It's kind of frizzled and not really that well kept, but it's not like messy. It's just there. He is of a olivey pale skin tone. No lie, the man is chiseled. He has jawbones and cheekbones for days. He has these somewhat piercing greenish hazel eyes that definitely glint in any light that you might see. But you don't see the eyes first because you would first see the two lines across his face going from his right eye down to his cheek, almost akin to claw marks or something. He is wearing really worn and scratched up armor that covers most of his chest and stomach, with a dark brown overcoat that, if you look, you notice that the arms have been torn off or ripped off. He has a shield currently on the back of him, hooked to a mechanism. So he's not always on his arm. And he also has a sword sheathed off to his side. He's about 5'10", 5'11", and kind of looks intimidating. Won't even lie on that front, but he's quiet, 100% quiet. And as he steps in, he literally walks to his seat and sits down. Kind of looks at everyone, but he's not really speaking. You can tell he's trying to figure out who's here.
Jude, as you walk in, Dave, this is the first time that the rest of you would see Dave falter in any manner. It appears, for those of you who have insight and you can make this judgment yourself, it appears that he is possibly intimidated by Jude as well. If you'd like to roll to get more information about possibly this interaction, you can, but we'll leave it there for now. Briar's like, no way.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Yeah, that is definitely a natural one.
Can I?
I've got it out of the way, you guys. The first one's out of the way.
That's fair.
Was it 17 for me?
Okay.
I also rolled a natural one.
Hey!
Charlie, he just seems a little nervous. Tyrion, I'll message you about this really quick. Jude, you're here. Great. That's everybody. Well, once again, I'm Dave, and, welcome to the rebellion. Aside from Tyrion here, you are all, brand new to our cause. I do want to thank y'all for being here. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about your first assignment. Of course, I think it was probably explained to you all that when you join the rebellion, you are broken out into groups. Call them parties. These parties will accomplish individual missions that are assigned from their handler. That's me, Dave. And yeah. The first few are they're not going to be great. I won't lie to you. They might suck a little bit. Your first one is going to be interesting. But I can tell you what we do want from you. There's a prisoner in the prison, of course. A very powerful warlock by the name of Andromeda. She's being held within... Let me make sure I have this right, y'all. Dave's not the only one who's nervous. Boulder Gate Prison. Y'all might know it's in Charger's Farthing. Your first assignment is not to break her out. That's a little extreme for your first mission. But we've seen you all, and you all seem very talented, capable. So the first thing that we want you to do is we want you to go scout.
To hear about...
Oh my god, okay, Google, stop.
Asking, what can you do?
You scared me, Camille.
I'm unplugging it. Go away. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh, sorry, that was my arcane messaging device. It sometimes gets in the way. Where was I? Oh god. Oh yes, we want you to go scout the prison. Use whatever resources you have to you. We're not going to tell you how to do your jobs unless you want help.
Camille, where is the hiding place where we are now? Where's the burned out
You are currently in Southtown.
Okay.
So directly southeast of Treasure's Farthing.
Gotcha.
Now,
Open that.
here's the thing. We are also establishing trust because we need information about the patrols of Boulder Gate Prison. As you know, a lot of dissenters are being held there. A lot of our own rebellion operatives are being held there. If you return to us with false information, well, it's only going to hurt you, because then we're going to make a plan for you to go in and break Andromeda out on that information. This is a bit of a trust exercise. Not saying any of you are bad or anything, but, you know, anybody can make a deal with the devil. Are there any questions?
Why is she in jail? What'd she do?
She's currently being held. I kid you not, for breaking into the castle.
Well, okay.
She was caught by the devils that hold the castle. But she has important information about the royal family, about the rebellion that we need. We're in contact with her familiar, her pseudo-dragon.
Ooh.
So get as much intelligence as we can and prepare to break her out later is
Yes.
the ultimate goal.
Yes.
How many people have you sent to this place so far?
How many other parties? Just one. A party of 4.
And I assume they didn't make it.
They did. But this was weeks ago. Things can change.
So those guys were busy, or what? Why do you need us now? Why not just send them again if they already have the lay of the land?
They're on another assignment.
Oh. Okay.
Is there information that they gathered that would be useful for us?
Possibly. He pulls a short logbook out of his back pocket and starts to flip through it. Let's see. They reported that a lot of the actual patrolling is being done by imps, but that there were other devils present. They were unable to identify them, which exact devils they are.
All right.
Is there going to be lunch?
It's 9:00 in the evening,
Oh.
but I can go upstairs and get you a sandwich.
Is there
if you
going to
want.
be like 9 o'clock lunch? Yeah, a sandwich would be great.
Can you roll a persuasion check for me?
Sure. Oh, God. That's not bad. That's 14 plus something. I'll pull up my skills. Plus 6, so 20 total.
He takes a look, and you see, for a moment, he, like many other people, get lost in your eyes for just a half second. He's like, oh, yeah, sure. I should tell you, though, we are expecting this assignment to be turned in That sounds like a teacher. We're expecting a report back within the next 72 hours.
I mean, I could take it to go.
Sure. I'll run up and get it. Let you 3 or 4 talk about anything you need to talk about, and I'll be back down, I guess.
Depending on how long this takes, we could, if it goes into the morning, we could do a breakfast or even a brunch. We could have a nice brunch.
That's not what the job entitled.
No, I was after the job, kind of group bonding session.
No.
All right.
Okay.
I would love brunch.
But what is brunch? Somebody tell me.
It's that meal in between breakfast and lunch, and you put them together and you get brunch. Because lekfist sounds weird.
It's typically for rich people because only having 3 meals isn't enough, so they add like a 4th one in there.
You guys eat 3 times a day?
Oh.
Holy moly.
I'll be right back. Dave runs up the stairs and you hear the cellar open and close.
Well, I think that we should probably head out soon. I would like to speak to the pseudo dragon. If it's around, I'll wait for Dave to get back with the sandwich. Did any of you want to drop battle plans, or are we just winging this? I'm fine with either.
We have a simple mission. We go, we scout, we see what they know, what they don't know. We see which routes they take, which routes they don't take, which routes some take that no one knows of. We give them every ounce of information we can get. We come back. We don't do this brunch.
I think 2 things. Most importantly to everything, we don't get seen while doing all of that. And I think the brunch may be negotiable.
Is this something you do normally? You go out into the world, raining in hellfire, and you eat crumpets and drink cranberry juice. And every sip you take, someone else gets killed. Every bite you eat, someone else gets killed. Every time you laugh and get excited about what's going to happen the next 20 minutes with your best friends, someone's getting taken by these devils. So if you want to brunch, I hope with every bite you remember how many lives we're losing.
I know very clearly how many lives have been lost and are lost. But I also believe that hope is an important thing, and I'm not going to die by losing that and the little that we still have. You can't save everyone. We can certainly try, but there's certain things that we can't lose.
You may be correct, but I didn't know hope was an ingredient for brunch.
Oh, it's one of the key ingredients. Yeah. Hope, orange juice, pancakes.
I'm gonna lean over
brunch.
and just be like, Najwa, I really don't know about these guys.
Jude will literally just sit back and just wait.
Well, let's worry about the mission first, and then we can revisit the idea of brunch. We'll keep it on the table for now.
Camille, would the pseudo-dragon be around to speak to, or is that something... I know sometimes familiars can or can't talk.
You can, why don't you make an Arcana check? Just to see if you would know this off the top of your head.
25.
Yeah, pseudo-dragons can communicate in visual images. This, oh my gosh, now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, this pseudo-dragon communicates in kind of like visual images, so it doesn't really speak per se, but it can communicate. Dave comes back down a few minutes later with a sandwich and a little paper bag, a little sack, and he's like, "All right, here you go, Briar."
Thanks, Dave.
Is there are there any questions that you're able to come up with that you have for me?
Dave, I won't waste any more time. Did the pseudo dragon have anything important that it could convey?
No, but perhaps we can get you in contact after this assignment.
Fair enough. Well, I'm ready to go. How about the rest of you?
Have you all shared what capabilities you have with each other to know what to expect?
No, but they like it.
No.
That might be a good idea.
Well, again, I'm Tyrion. I am a practitioner of the arcane. I specifically am studying to be a master of abjuration, so I hope to provide protection to both you and myself through shields and other spells. I'm also well learned.
I'm Charlie. I also practice a bit of magic, though more of the divine. I am quite the practiced healer, though I'm afraid that might be the greatest extent of the abilities you'll get from me. I'll try to keep you safe and protected as much as I can.
Yeah, well, I've crammed like half the sandwich at this point. There's just like crumbs. It's not very graceful. I'm good at being quiet. I'm good at taking things. Sometimes I can see ghosts. I can do all kinds of things.
I fight.
Well said. On all accounts, I'm gonna go. It's nice to meet you all. Good luck.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye, Dave. This is a really good sandwich, by the way.
He leaves.
All right.
Well,
Shall we then?
yeah, the nighttime is the best time. Let's go now.
Charlie and Tyrion, you are both proficient in history. Am I correct? Jude,
I am too.
I was about to say, are you proficient in history? Briar, I know you have that proficiency, but it's not going to apply here.
Specific, yeah.
Yeah, why don't all three of you roll a history check for me?
I'm carefully tucking the other half of my
Jude,
sandwich.
yours is advantage.
19.
24.
Fuck that advantage. That was a natural one on that one. That's a 14.
Charlie, you know that their Boulder Gate Prison was not always called Boulder Gate Prison. It used to be called Greaves Prison, after the noble family of the Greaves, who donated the plot of land that the prison was built on, and it was sort of named after them for quite some time. Tyrion, you would also, I think, know this, and with your familiarity of the Greaves family. But Charlie, you also know the reputation of the Greaves family. That they are, they dip their toes into organized crime more often than not.
Oh,
Yeah, so take from that what you will.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad people. Sometimes you just get mixed into things.
Jude stands up, looks at his chair. For his gruffiness, you might be surprised that he actually puts his chair back underneath the table. Just pushes it in a little bit. No, it's not like, oh, it's time to fix the area, but it's just it's very much just a natural thing for someone like him. That's probably weird. And he walks over to the door Looks back. Are we going?
Yes.
I'll just throw my hood up. I'm gonna tuck Najwa into my backpack with my sandwich. Don't eat this, please. I'll need this later.
I will also push my chair in, and if Briar doesn't push hers in, I will push hers in as well.
She definitely does not.
I figured I'll push hers in.
You all exit and, as directed, cover the back gate, or the cellar entrance with the tarp. And Briar, as soon as you get out of the cellar, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
Okay, that should be fine for you. You notice a black cat staring at you. The rest of you might hear, "Meow."
Hi, kitty.
This is a familiar cat.
Oh. Najwa, hello, baby. Look, I'm gonna pick her up. Kind of like shove her into their faces. Like, look.
Briar, you hear, "Stop!"
Okay. I'm sorry. Here, I'll put her back down. You're just so cute. I want them to see you.
Najwa, as soon as you put her down, she rubs between your legs.
Okay, I'm ready, I guess.
Is this your pet?
Yeah, it's the same. It's Najwa. I showed you. Oh, I didn't show you. Oh, yeah, this is Najwa.
I thought...
Well, yeah, I too am also confused.
What's so confused? It's a cat. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about a cat.
But wasn't she just a book?
A book, right?
Oh, yes. I forget that not all books can do that. Yeah, she was a book. Sometimes she's a cat. Sometimes she's other things too.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, but she's not very sweet, so don't pet her because she'll bite you.
Oh.
Meow. Briar, you hear, what? Why are you telling them that? That's mean.
Because I don't want anybody else to try to pet you. I don't want you to love anybody more than me.
Is that out loud or in your head?
Yeah, 100% out loud.
Oh my god.
I'll very specifically let you know if it's happening in my head.
Okay.
Most of the time, she's not used to being around people, honestly, so she forgets that she talks out loud. Anyway, let's go, okay?
Okay, so the cat's coming too. Oh yes, okay, yes. All right.
Exactly know what I was expecting in joining the rebellion, but I am quite certain it was not this.
You just hear from in front of everyone.
Okay, let's go.
Can y'all describe to me how are y'all are moving about this? How you plan to move about the city?
So I have the urchin background, so I think I would just briefly explain, kind of like, okay, so if we want to avoid as much attention as possible, we should go this way. It's like 10 minutes extra, but we can take all the back alleys and no one's going to see us.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there like a curfew in this city?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Then
It
yes.
ends in about 30 minutes.
So I would say stealthily is how Tyrion is choosing to move.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it, you guys.
Jude is walking slow in the sense. Stealthy, sure. But he clangs. So it would be as stealthy as he wants to be.
Why don't you roll stealth for me? All of you who would like to participate.
At disadvantage.
I'm trying to mimic the
Oh,
stealthiness.
boo you!
So, just to let y'all know, y'all each have at least 2 advantages and you all have an auto crit currently.
What? I rolled
would-
a 17 total.
I
Okay.
would also like to be looking around because I'm taking my one responsibility, aka make sure no one dies, very seriously. So I'm trying to keep an eye out because I don't want to be seen. But my mode of stealthiness is more avoiding being seen by seeing them first.
Okay. You want to roll perception in place of stealth?
Oh, I don't care.
You can.
Okay.
It was nat 20 stealth. for
Ah.
Terry.
Oh.
Yeah, mine would have been a nat 20 if it wasn't disadvantage.
Oh no.
12, though.
Okay.
Oh, that's not too bad. Mine's a dirty 20 for perception.
Sure. Okay.
I will say, Jude is the type of person. Again, it's not like he just donned this armor. He knows
Right.
how he moves around. However, if there ever a moment where something might see him, you and I know he's not worried.
Yeah. That's fair. Charlie, you catch on the skyline. You are in Southtown, which is the buildings are a little closer together. The buildings are taller. Everything is more compressed here. The buildings are also not built quite as well as what you're used to in Northtown. You do catch sight of a few imps patrolling the skies, but if they see you, they do not do anything. So you feel pretty good at that.
Say anything. I might point up, but I'm gonna not say anything as to not ruin our stealthy, unnoticed behavior right now. As far as I can tell.
Why don't... so it would ordinarily be about a 30-minute walk to Boulder Gate Prison. However, with Briar's navigation, it's only about 15. You make your way up through Southtown towards Charger's Farthing. Kind of finding the back alley. Go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is it kind of on the way home for me? Is that okay? I think as we pass by, I would just kind of quietly duck away from the group, run upstairs, grab my short bow, and come back downstairs and just meet them wherever they are.
Okay.
Not a thing, just letting you know I have it now.
Sure. Yeah, so your companion disappears up a clock tower, an abandoned, ruined, not really sure if it's safe to go inside clock tower. That is kind of almost leaning at this point. Comes back down with a short bow.
Thank you, Najwa.
The cat just
Jude.
happily trots along.
Jude 100% did not see that because his passive is abysmal.
Oh, bless him.
He don't need a passive. Run up if you want to.
Briar, is that where you live?
No. What? No. Let's go. Just hurriedly walk away.
And your walk, luckily through Briar's navigation, you don't come across any patrolling devils. Ordinarily, a walk like this through the city would put any of you at risk. People are closing, people have, are beginning to close down their shops, their stores, head home. If they have homes to go to, head wherever to be off the streets. Because at night after 10, the devils come out in full force. And it's commonly known that they like to enforce their curfew by simply killing anybody who is out. Over the horizon, you begin to see Boulder Gate Prison. Boulder Gate Prison is a pentagonal building that stands, made of solid stone, stands about a story and a half high. The top is covered in barbed wire, and all around it is like a circular road. From even there is a fence, like a metal wrought iron fence that surrounds it. There are 2 gates, one on the north and one on the south side. No, one on the east and one on the west. They are both, well, as you see, you do not currently see anybody out and about, but if you'd like to get closer, you can, around this building are, around this prison are several tall buildings, some short buildings. These are cheaper places, like textiles, blacksmiths. A lot of the heavy work is done in this Charger's Farthing area. Especially the places that don't usually have customers, so that people don't have to walk by the prison to come and purchase your wares. So as you approach Boulder Gate Prison, there is a textile warehouse on your right and a blacksmith on your left. What would you like to do?
Weather like this evening? Is it not a clear evening? Or?
Clear night.
Okay.
Almost a full moon.
So I'm understanding the textile warehouse and the blacksmith, they can see the prison from...
Oh, yeah.
From...
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
Is
coming
it-
up a road up the road and then another road in circles, and then there's a fence and then another road within. Does that make sense?
Say that one more time.
Okay. You're like approaching, and there's a road that goes around the fence, and then there's a fence, and then a road within the fence, and then the prison.
Oh, okay.
So it goes road, fence, road, prison.
How big is the fence?
It stands about 20 feet tall.
Okay. So you would have, unless you just jump really high, you would have to go around to one of the entrances to get through that.
Unless you could think of another way in.
How open is, so, I know you said that there's the road, the fence, the road. Are there actively devils patrolling along these roads, or does it seem pretty...
Why don't you make a perception check for me?
Okay. Perception.
So currently you are standing sort of in like a T.
16 plus 4 is a dirty 20.
Okay. Yes, there are currently, you see in the sky, there are maybe, you can count 10 imps in the sky. You see, let's see, let me make sure I have the right devils here. How familiar do you think Briar is with the different types of devils? How do you think she's got an understanding of which ones are which?
I think to a degree. She probably knows some basic info, but she definitely probably doesn't know anything super in-depth.
Sure. You do notice that there are a Barbed Devil, which are these sort of humanoid-looking things with barbs coming from every part of their gnarly bodies with a long spiked tail. And Bearded Devils, which are also humanoid but have these like long... tentacle-like things with spikes at the end as well, carrying massive glaives. There's one of each stationed at each entry, and then there's a bearded devil or 2 bearded devils that walk around that look like they're like sort of circling each other.
Okay. You guys, there's a lot of devils out here. You said that you can do magic. Can you do any, like, invisible magic or flying magic?
No to both. I can create a fog cloud. I just wonder if that might be a little too conspicuous for a central fog cloud in a otherwise clear night. I can try to read. I can see if there's any other magical things we aren't noticing, and I can perhaps try to read the thoughts of one of these devils. I can't think of much else that would be useful unless we're going to straight up try to raid the prison right now. I can also cast message, so if one of us does choose to go further, we can relay information back and forth that way.
I mean, I can try to get closer. Maybe.
Are you all sort of standing in the middle of this road still?
I would imagine we've kind of tucked away either in an alley or kind of like against the shadow of a building or trying to continue to avoid being seen. Wait, you did say the textile thing was abandoned, right?
Well, it's empty currently.
Okay.
I'm asking this because I need to. Briar's perception check of the bearded devils and stuff. Was it anything she didn't see? That's a weird question to ask, but you know what? Screw the question. You just noticed that Jude is looking and scanning, and if anybody is behind him, so his shield on his back right now. And on that shield is it's kind of, it's worn, dark, gross, whatever. But in the middle of that shield is a smooth basalt orb that's like black and reddish, and it begins to glow just for a second as I divine sense.
Ooh.
Okay. How far
see
does?
if there's anything 60 feet.
Okay.
I want to see if there's anything that, because I don't know if Briar said that everything. I'm just trying to make sure that.
Sure. And that's not behind total cover, correct?
Not behind total cover, yes.
Perfect.
3/4 cover now that I will know.
Okay. Within 60 feet, it is exactly as Briar said, although you do catch behind you, up in the sky, is an imp. Or a small, you would sense, I mean, it doesn't tell you the exact what it is, but you would know that it's small and it's an imp. Yeah, and usually those are the main ones who are flying.
Is it stationary or is it?
It's going, you probably can't see that. It's like going behind you in a line, like from one side to the other.
Okay, I was saying if it was like looking at us.
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
Maybe we could just post up real quick in this textile factory and then just in case.
Get off the street at least.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my lockpick set. I assume the door is probably locked, and I will attempt to open it.
Yes. Why don't you, so you are on the same side as the door, you kind of approach this double door. Why don't you make a Thieves' Tool check using dexterity as your bonus?
Okay. Alright, so proficiency and dexterity. 12 plus 6, so 18.
Oh, yeah. Briar, what does this look like?
I keep them not in a proper case. They're more just kind of a bunch of little tools rolled up in like a little scrap of leather I found. So I'll just very carefully lay it out in front of the door and pick the tools that I need. Pick it. Carefully roll my little tool set back up and just slide it into my pocket and test the door to see if it opens.
It does open.
Okay, come on, you guys.
You head inside this textile factory. And it is very dark in here. Does anybody not have dark vision?
I'm sorry.
I don't have dark vision.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, do any of us have dark vision? Oh, okay. Great.
Great.
I do not have dark vision. However, the minute we get into a darker area, you do begin to see, even within the hilt, the blade I have is shedding dim light within a 5-foot radius.
Okay. That's very
And
good.
it's like a dull orangish glow.
Very good to know. You all head inside. Briar, do you relock the door or do you leave it unlocked?
I'm going to... Is there any, I'm just going to relock it, because I don't want it to seem like... for it to seem that it was disturbed at all, so I'm just going to lock it behind us really quietly.
Okay. You head inside this old, I wouldn't say old, I mean, it would be old as far as our standards, textile factory. There are rows and rows and rows of these spun white, sort of, I can think of the word for it, like a bobbin, but they're these wheels, these bars of wood that have cotton just wrapped around them, or some sort of textile wrapped around them, and they're all sorts of colors. There are also barrels of special sort of liquids, maybe dyes, acids, that kind of thing. Lots of various spinning machines that are not currently spinning, but are used for spinning. Spindle! Mare, thank you so much! And so as you head in...
Are there windows we can see out of?
Yes, there are dingy windows on all sides, and they're not clean at all, so it's sort of 50% opacity. They haven't been cleaned in a long time. It doesn't look like this building was damaged at all in the incursion.
So here's my primary concern, are the imps. I could certainly cast a fog cloud over anything that's on the ground and try to block our path that way, but from an aerial view, it would be a 20-foot circle of fog that just appears from nowhere. If you're inside the fog, you can't tell. And imps are relatively easy to take out, but the last thing I want to do is raise an alarm. So I am open to suggestions.
I should also mention before you continue this conversation that there is a set of stairs. So this building is very tall, very high ceilings, maybe 15 feet, 20 feet ceilings, and there is on the far end a staircase going up that leads to the next floor up.
Jude will, once he gets in, and once you all get in, he will probably eventually see that staircase and look at Terry, and if he begins to speak English, and Jude's going to go over there and just, as quiet as possible, walk up the steps to make sure nothing's up there. And if something's up there, he'll deal with it.
Okay. Are you going by yourself?
He's walking.
I'm probably following Jude because I can't see, and he has a light source.
Jude just did something smart for Tyrion, so I think Tyrion would have maybe not said that when Jude pointed the stairs, and Tyrion will put his hand on Jude's shoulder, kind of just put a finger up, and Tyrion will cast Detect Magic and see if you can pick up anything in this building that might give off magical sense.
How far is the range on that?
I think it's 120.
120 feet?
Yeah, what is it? Oh, sorry, no, that's Detect Thoughts. Detect Magic is 30 feet. So
Okay.
I'm not sure how high the second floor is, but just...
And how long does it last?
That is...
a minute?
Up to 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so would you like to keep it on as you walk? Or because as you immediately cast it, you don't sense anything right away. But if you'd like to keep it up, you can.
Then yes, he will maintain that as a concentration, and then he will use Message as a cantrip to tell Jude, it looks all clear as far as I can tell, but I will try to keep an eye out as we move along.
You see when he gets that message, he kind of shakes for a second, kind of stills for a second, and then recognizes the inner voice and just nods.
Right, sorry, I should have asked for... How do I ask first? You can reply to this message, Sorry.
To clarify, I am not right beside Jude. I am a distance away where like I could like sneak up into the light if I needed to, but I don't want to get too far away.
Okay. And Briar, what are you...
Because it's only a 5-foot radius.
Right. And Briar, what are you doing as you see Jude begin to head towards the stairs?
If the three of them all head that way, I honestly... Briar's just like, they got it covered. And I'm going to use my elbow to, like, wipe a little bit of section of window so that I can kind of see out of it.
Unfortunately, it is actually, you're going to have to find something. It would be easy for you to find something to stand on, but they are very high up, unfortunately.
I will do that first,
Okay.
and then I will clean a small portion of it.
Oh.
Why is everything so tall?
That's a real thing.
I will also be if naturally his hand goes to the hilt of his sword.
Okay.
And he also...
As you the three of you begin to make your way towards this staircase, and Tyrion, you actually do get a blip of something magical on the next floor up. It's very small, and the school is Evocation. You're muted.
You have a silence spell.
So I am. I'm sorry. He will register that to Jude, kind of just indicate the direction and indicate that it is Evocation Magic.
Does Jude know what Evocation Magic is?
You can roll Arcana.
I'm also thinking from his past. Not to 20. Was not expecting that one, which makes it a 19.
Derek, why don't you tell us what Evocation Magic does?
Control of the elements, fire, lightning, explosions, damage, elemental damage for some.
Not always.
Not always, but your fireballs, your scorching rays, your call lightnings, all evocation.
Dancing light.
Dancing light as well. I do have a sheet which lists all of it.
Light, ray of frost, thunderclap, guiding bolt, those kinds of things.
Evocation.
Yeah, elemental control of power, harnessing the forces of magic to exert your will on the world.
Wow. He will note that, and just still go slowly, but walk up the steps.
Okay. Why don't you give me a stealth check?
Ooh, yay! With disadvantage, that's a 14.
That is not bad, you know. That is not bad at
with
all.
disadvantage, that's great. I'm gonna take that.
Beautiful. You begin to make your way up the staircase, feeling very quiet. And as you get to the top, there is a hatch that you just simply would push open.
I will slowly.
You see on the very top, there are people out here. Specifically 2 people. 2 figures. One of them is a Barbed Devil who is pacing around a humanoid seated on a chair. This person seated in the chair appears to be held against their will.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. Seeing that, I will stop. Is Tyrion behind me?
Yeah, I kind of imagine they're stacked up.
Oh, cool. I will, cause I'm using the shielded arm right now to like kind of push up. I just, I haven't taken my blade out of my, my hilt yet. I just let it go, and I like kind of like do this kind of at Tyrion and do this. Like, open up that channel again. But you can actually see it's very, for lack of a better word, military. It's like,
go for Tyrion.
Barbed Devil. Someone is hostage.
Are they the only two you see?
Divine sense again.
Yeah, there is within 30 feet. No, there's no one else. But it is very clearly a devil.
I'm like, let me use them while I got them.
Actually, I misspoke. They're both devils. However, the one tied to the chair looks like a human man.
It's a setup. It's a trap. How dare you, in the year of my Azmarin Lord? I said it wrong, Azmarin.
And that is where we're going to take our first break.
Oh my god.
You?
Oh God.
Everybody please get some water, pet your pets, stand up and stretch. We will be right back.
Oh baby, I love your. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's
Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high quality Dungeons and Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wondered what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Azmarin. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our Undying Love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers. Drum roll, please. The Loremaster. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, Open for Adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi. My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by found familiar. Did you know that every bag of found familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of found familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by Found Familiar in conjunction with Devon Rue. Now that's canon. Found Familiar Coffee. Buy it today.
Yeah, to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless. I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. And give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like
welcome back. We find our party on a mission to patrol, to scout Boulder Gate Prison. However, they have entered a textile factory. And on the second floor, on the roof, I should mention, on the roof of this, they find a humanoid-looking figure and being sort of walked around. This figure is tied to a chair. Another figure, a Barbed Devil, walks around.
And I mentioned back to Terry in my head 2 figures. One devil, whatever. And then once I noticed that, if that line is still open, I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say, looks like there's 2 devils.
Noted.
One's a trap.
You're probably right. I'm going to do a quick double check, and Tyrion will cast Detect Thoughts. Just a cursory glance at the thoughts on the top of the mind of both individuals. So
Can you?
He's not.
Oh, you can do it for multiple people as long as it's just top of mind.
Yeah. He's dropping Detect Magic, and yeah, if it was combat, it would be an action to switch from one to another. But he's not delving further to the point where they would realize that he's doing it. So he's only
Sure.
Yeah.
Surface level thoughts for the Barbed Devil. Does this work on non-humanoids?
I believe so. I think it's
It's a creature.
It's a certain creature. So as long as they have an intelligence over 3,
Definitely,
and speak the
definitely.
language.
Okay. And you can understand it even if they're speaking in their own thoughts as a different language, because it's just like the thoughts of it.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, just in case, he does speak Infernal.
That's fair. Okay, cool. Glad we cleared all that up. I have not worked with a lot of wizards, you can tell.
It's my first wizard. It's all good. We'll learn together.
Oof.
Let's change the music really quick. You gather that there is a lot of frustration from the Barbed Devil. This creature is behaving erratically with like vengeance in the mind. With they seem to be blinded by, or they seem to be very singularly focused on this creature in front of them. Surface thoughts. And you get the sense that they are trying to extract something from this other humanoid. This humanoid has very few surface thoughts. Mostly it's focused on breathing and keeping their heart rate down.
Okay. So the one that is bound in the chair isn't... they are bound in the chair, right?
Yes, they are bound in the chair.
Okay. So it's not thoughts of like, I'm ready to spring out at any moment. It's definitely thoughts of one who would be captured.
Yes, they are, you gather distinctly male energy, is trying to remain calm.
Okay. So first thing, he will relay message to Jude. The one in the chair is in fact actually bound. You do have a point. This may be a trap, but I'm leaning towards the opposite at this point.
Go ahead, Charlie.
We will find out.
I read the room, well, because we've
Insight
paused
check, yeah.
suddenly, and I noticed that Jude I'm going to use an advantage, because I have that.
Yes,
I'm going to... Oh, much better. Okay, 24.
Jude and Tyrion, what do you think she would get from you?
What did you do, sorry?
She rolled an insight check at 24.
I'm just trying to get a read from what's going on.
Oh, I was like, yeah, Jude is exuding BDE. No, Jude is, he's been always chill since you've met him. He doesn't make erratic movements. However, you can tell he's very stilled, and you can tell that he is working. So yeah, something's definitely different. He's actually actively being quiet and chill and making small movements.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I reach for the necklace around my neck? And I would like to hold the stone for a minute and close my eyes. And then I would like to, when my eyes open, they are not that y'all are having a conversation, but they are bright white. And as I exhale, it's almost like there's a soft dust emanating from where I'm holding, and then it kind of holding the necklace, and then it dissipates. And I would like to cast Bless on Jude and Tyrion.
Okay, second level, I'm assuming.
No.
Can you cast it on more than one? Oh, bless it. Bless. I'm sorry. I was thinking
Bless.
of guidance. So yes.
Guidance. Bless. Yeah.
Okay. You all for the next minute can add a D4 to any of your rolls.
I'm trying to use something real quick so the minute doesn't change. I might not use it now, but I just want to make sure. I'll send it to you in Zoom. Sorry.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Cool. I guess I have to mark that down because I can't mark that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I know I can do. Anywho, cool. I will. And I know what was just put upon me. I felt this before, even though it's a different
energy.
flavor.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. And I say, okay then. I look at the Barbed Devil that's standing, and I close my eyes for a second, and again behind me you see that shield begin to glow ever so slightly. And then in Infernal, you hear me say, drop, as I cast command on the Barbed Devil.
You want the Barbed Devil to drop? Like, okay.
Just doom.
What's the save?
It wasn't the pratfall. 15. I think it was. Wisdom, 15.
Okay. Barbed. Wisdom +2. 14. Nice. Very nice. So what you see, Jude, is this Barbed Devil, a wave of kind of something washes over them and their back rolls down. And they let out a strangled sound and then fall to the ground. This humanoid in the chair begins to look around. Tyrion, how long does Detect Thoughts last?
Sorry, I didn't have that pulled up. Detect Thoughts. There's Detect Magic. Detect Thoughts. There we go. That is up to 1 minute.
Okay. Probably still on the line. You would sense that calm is starting to shake.
I will, once he drops, I will immediately burst through the door.
Yeah.
Get up as much as possible. Have my sword drawn and held at the Barbed Devil's neck on the ground.
Okay.
Looking down at him, speaking in Infernal, and I say, "Do not speak, or this will go through your skull."
Oh.
Tyrion will turn around at that point. He did not follow Jude in. He'll just quickly message Charlie and Briar. Jude has rushed in, and there are 2 devils, and one is back. Come on up. I think, yes. And I will also note that when Charlie did cast Bless, there was maybe a similar effect to Jude, but it's something that hasn't happened to Tyrion before. He gets a kind of a chill that ripples down his spine a little bit when that celestial magic affects him. But yes, he will relay that information and then kind of just make his way into the room after Jude.
Okay, you make your way up to the roof. Tyrion, as you head up, and even in the thick of this, you see the way that this humanoid is bound, and immediately feel a gut pull to unbind him.
Okay. Quickly, he will message the bound devil, which I guess he knows that he is. What's your name? Why are you bound? Why? We know you're a devil. Why do you look non-devil?
Can I get a persuasion check from you?
It's 18 plus. It's a dirty 20.
Okay. You just simply hear a long sigh. And he replies, I'm called Nakir.
Nakir, I want to help you, but I also want to know that you're not going to kill me and my friends.
At this point, Charlie, are you and Briar coming up?
I'm coming up the rest of the stairs. I am just inside. I am prepared to duck back down if I need to, but I'm trying to keep eyes on Jude, Tyrion, and I am looking for Briar as soon as I can get her in my line of sight.
Are you visible to this humanoid?
Depending on how the chair is facing, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to hide. I'm just making sure I have a quick...
Yeah. Out loud.
What was her name again?
Nakir, Nakir.
Thank you.
This humanoid, you can get a better look at him now that you're close and have that 5 foot dim light. He has kind of like a strong kind of... in fact, Tyrion, he kind of has a lot of the same features as Tyrion. Like kind of the sharp, angular face, sort of silverish hair. His ears are a little pointed though. And there is a slight stubble on his face. And his where Tyrion's hair is more of a whitish, his is more silver, almost like an elven lineage, but not quite. He says out loud, looking directly at Charlie, "You have my word. I will not harm you."
I would like to roll insight.
Go ahead.
Plus 5, so 21.
He's a little hard to read, but you don't get any sense that he's lying, especially with detect thoughts.
Nakir, I'm going to let you go. Jude, I'm going to let Nakir go. This is Nakir. Nakir, I want you to know that if you try anything untoward, I will end you incredibly swiftly.
Go.
And Tyrion will unbind Nakir.
He just sort of lets out a snort. You're not sure if he's like, it's almost like a "I wish you would," not sure if it's towards "I will end you" or "I will unbind you." And then he stays seated, kind of rubs. You see the ropes around his hands were magical. That's what you gathered, evocation magic from the binds.
Gotcha.
And as soon as you can watch, it's sort of the light. There's a flash of light, and then they fall apart. He stays seated. The Barbed Devil is responding to Jude's intimidation. No roll needed. He is staying down.
Jude will, unless Charlie or Briar wants to do anything, Jude will simply say to the Barbed Devil, not really looking at Nakir right now, "What was your purpose? Why do you attack somewhat your own. I need answers.
For this, I will have you roll intimidation.
That is a 21.
Oh yeah. You feel him this devil start to like grow hot and angry, and you feel like the blade begin to pierce the thick skin on his neck just a little bit. And he replies back in Infernal. Oh gosh, how does he say this? This one has information I need.
Information for who?
For my next promotion.
So all you care about is rising in the ranks of this hellish army.
That's all there is to being a devil.
I would like to tell you a thing. And that's simply, not everything is a devil. However, and he waits and he looks over at Nakir. The devils aren't the one you have to worry about. And I'm going to attempt to stab him.
Do it! Okay. Here's the thing about D&D. D&D does not have a great way for, like, a coup de grace. But because he is prone, you have your blade to his neck. I'm not going to make you drop him all of his hit points. Why don't you just go ahead and make an attack roll for me? And it's at advantage because he's prone.
Oh, yes, okay. This is one-handed too.
Is it a natural 20?
Natural 20.
Yes, honey!
Nice.
That's funny.
In one go, Jude, would you like me to describe this, or would you like to describe this?
Honestly, he's not one for theatrics.
Sure.
And that blade was originally pointed at his neck, and he kind of lifted up as he was speaking, and angled it just slightly, and put it straight through his head.
Swiftly and almost beautifully done, Jude. You end this devil.
I might gag.
Charlie, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
I mean, it's 14.
Okay, you do gag a little bit.
All right, yeah, good job, Charlie.
Briar, would you like to have seen this as well?
Honestly, I mean, I feel like I have, as soon as they started talking aloud, I heard him like thunder, throw the door open and go up there.
Yeah.
I don't think Briar has moved. She's still posted up on her little stack of boxes or whatever she's standing on. I do have my short bow out and drawn, but I don't want to move in case something is laying in wait outside. I want to be ready.
Definitely. You do notice that Najwa and cat form is not here with you. Charlie, you would notice that Najwa has jumped up and is standing just on the hatch. Just watching. Briar, as you get a chill that rolls down your spine. In the very moment that this devil is killed. It's
what is it?
It's a familiar feeling.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess they didn't need me after all. I'll put my short bow away.
Okay.
As I in this thing, immediately kind of stands and swivels. Sword is pointed at Nakir. They said you have information. What information do you have? And I warn you, I'm not a Barbed Devil. I'm worse.
when Jude says that, Tyrion will further concentrate, detect thoughts, and try to read the deeper thoughts of Nakir. So that is a wisdom saving throw of 14.
What happens if he succeeds?
That's a good question. I believe that if he succeeds, I still get some tertiary thoughts. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind. If it succeeds, either way, it knows that I am doing the probing. Not a great word. But I get the deeper thoughts and the full kind of range of its mind when it succeeds. But yeah, if it fails, insight into its reasoning, emotional state, and something that looms large.
Tyrion, have you ever done this to a devil before?
Probably not to a devil, because they would know that he was doing it.
Okay. This is the first time you've ever been inside the mind of a devil, and let me tell you, it is completely foreign and alien to you, especially this one. There seems to be... it's almost like when you discovered magic for the first time and you realized there was such a vastness of knowledge that you could in no way access in your lifetime. There's just too much. It sort of feels like that. Make an Arcana check for me while you do this. You might get the sense that this creature is very old. Almost impossibly old. Jude, as you hold this blade up to his neck, he holds his hands out to the side and breathes a long sigh. All devils care about is their next promotion. I reported to his boss once. He wanted me to help him file the paperwork. Tyrion, these thoughts that you're getting are the words that he's speaking, but there is almost like a secondary track in his mind that it keeps going to Charlie. Even though he's not looking at her, it seems like he has the visual of her from the waist, like the chest up, like just a strong visual image of that.
Do I know this person? Is there any recognition for Charlie?
No.
Oh, okay. Great.
I kind of imagine that this is almost like very early stages of migraine inducing the realization of this much. So Jude kind of, I'm not Jude. Tyrion puts his hand to his head and just kind of it's like almost too much light in his eyes for a second. And he goes to rub his temples, but then when he picks up on the focus on Charlie, he'll kind of try to shake it off, and then almost try to put himself between Charlie and Nakir.
As you do so, you get a blinding flash of an image, and this is as on your next inhale, you smell fire and brimstone. You are almost overwhelmed by this image of not just the nine hells, but a transformation of some kind. Of what, you're really not sure. It's just a lot of burning, a lot of crumbling, a lot of falling, a lot of corruption. And you gather Nakir now knows that you are in his mind. He is not, you don't get the sense that he's being hostile to you, just more of you are getting access to a third channel in his head.
Nakir, what do you want? What are we supposed to do with you? Are we just supposed to let you go and you tattle on us?
Tattle? What is there to tell? What have you done?
Nakir, what is it that you want?
To walk away.
And go where?
Why do you care?
Because I care. If you're going to walk away and go talk to some other devils and say, these are some people which killed one of your kind, which is obviously a death sentence in this city. And besides the fact that leaving this city is nigh impossible to begin with.
For you. I vow to you, I will speak of this occurrence to no one of a fiendish nature. To no one, and regardless of their nature.
How are we supposed to believe someone like you? Not because you're a devil. Some of us don't judge people based off the way they look. However, you and the devils destroyed the place that we call home. You expect us to believe you're just going to walk away and not speak of this to anyone.
You should know better than most that the devils keep their word.
I'm going to listen and look into those words. Does he know more than he is telling?
Why don't you roll insight?
Auto crit.
Yes, he does.
Fuck that. Thank you so much for the auto crit.
Well, I don't trust him. Not completely, at least.
When I will speak up, I'll kind of peek around Tyrion a little bit. When you say you want to walk away, why? Do you mean walk away from this? What are you walking away from?
Why don't you roll persuasion with advantage?
Ooh! Ooh! 24!
Charlie, as you speak up and kind of move your way around Tyrion to see this man's face, you watch his demeanor, this guarded sort of, I'm being held at knife blade, sort of falter and slip away. Oh gosh, this is not the music I want.
Bless you. Oh my god.
Everything is what I want to walk away from. Where did you get that necklace?
It was in my family. We found it, and well, we found. Why?
I have not seen that kind of energy in a very long time. It reminds me of a better time.
I'll step more around Tyrion. You said you want to walk away from all of it.
Yes.
Why?
What is your name? You know mine.
You can call me Charlie.
Charlie. I am very tired. I have been doing this for a very long time.
What will you do instead?
I don't know. I don't know. There is no home for me anymore. Do you have any ideas?
You can leave the city, just go ahead and leave then. If there's nothing stopping you, then you have the entire world, and I'd imagine several planes to explore.
Are you still in his thoughts?
Yeah, I think he'll maintain that for as long as he can.
Perhaps I found something here. Something more important than anywhere else in the world.
It's Charlie, isn't it?
He seems to be fixated on her.
So you want to walk away from everything, but you don't. You want to leave, but you want to stay. Do you want to stop the devils? Is that somewhere in your plan? They don't seem to be any fans of yours.
That one wasn't.
Do you want to see the devils maintain control over Azmarin?
No.
I think this goes back to Tyrion's earlier question. When you walk away, if you are to walk away, the direction of your next steps do matter. In what direction are you going?
I want to say really quickly. When Charlie says this, Jude looks at Charlie. That's it.
I have some questions. For you, actually.
And I am sure, depending on what those questions are, I would be happy to answer them.
Just as a note, I have left my perch and I'm hiding in the shadows at the bottom of the stairs listening. The longer they just go on talking.
Of course.
I'm also going to, for a moment, lower my sword.
Okay. He makes no move.
Ask your questions.
These are private questions.
Unfortunately, privacy doesn't exist in Azmarin. Not for you. Unless, and I look over at Charlie.
I meant privacy in my mind.
I glanced at Tyrion.
Just eyes looking everywhere.
I feel like this whole scene is literally us just all exchanging glances at each other.
Fine. If you're not going to ask your questions, we might as well ask you some that perhaps you actually will answer instead of deflecting and being frustratingly vague. Are you familiar with the prison at all?
Yes.
Wait. before this goes forward, I look at Nakir and I say, "It's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust anyone. He needs to make a charisma save."
For Zone of Truth? Ooh, we're all in. That's a not discriminatory.
No,
thing, right?
everybody
So, yeah.
everybody needs to make it.
Okay.
Yeah, within the 15-foot radius. Yep.
Oh! Thank goodness Charlie's not a liar.
Am I within a 15-foot radius?
You are. I will say, Jude, you notice that initially he, resists, but then there's a willing drop of he fails the save.
Oh, I have advantage because I'm a gnome.
Yeah,
Well, no.
And I will say
That's
that,
way better.
when this is cast, you actually... It's not always seen, this Zone of Truth, but you do get, like... You know how when you walk out into, like, a summer heat, and you look on, like, on top of your car and there's that heat wave? That's around everywhere.
Nice.
And what
Rolled a
was the DC?
17 with advantage.
Okay, that's a success.
What was the DC?
15.
Okay, I rolled 15.
I hardcore failed.
Interesting. He answers Tyrion's question again. Yes, I know details of the prison.
We need information that would help us retrieve someone being held in the prison.
He looks at Charlie. What god do you worship?
I don't worship a particular god.
He smiles. Yet you still cast magic, don't you?
Yes.
He looks back at you, Tyrion. In the evening, 20 imps fly above. Half are invisible. A bearded devil and a barbed devil guard each gate. 2 bearded devils walk the perimeter, a third is invisible. They run counter to each other.
Am I picking up that this is truthful in any sense?
He has, Jude would know he has no point, he has no ability to lie right now.
Sure.
He
Okay.
can skirt the truth.
Yeah.
He can't lie. Unless he gets out of the perimeter.
Yeah, but she is
Are there
staying in
any
the
other
chair.
hazards to worry about besides the devils themselves, or are there any hazards within the prison itself that we should be wary of?
It is my belief, understanding, though I cannot confirm this, that the most secure of cells, the doors are trapped magically. Have you ever been contacted by a deity, Charlie?
No. Not directly.
Have you ever been targeted by a devil, specifically?
No. DM? No. I haven't.
And no one has recognized your pendant?
I'm sorry, what's your fascination with Charlie all of a sudden?
Can I like tuck it in my?
Yeah, you can.
I tuck it away.
Tyrion, he chuckles a little. My fascination is with her necklace.
Okay, well, let's avert the ice just a little bit, alright? I think we're being just a little inappropriate here.
Inappropriate. Are you her guardian?
No, I'm just someone who cares about general decency.
Decency. Asking about a pendant is indecent.
You don't stare at a woman's clavicle area. It's inappropriate. I don't know how they do things in the hills, but up here, avert the eyes a little bit.
How do we get into this prison? Let me rephrase that. How would you get into this prison if you didn't want to be seen?
There's an underground tunnel that the family who built this prison included. It is only known to a few of my kind. You will have a much easier time getting in.
He said that to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, but wording, was he saying like you will have a good time getting in, or was he saying okay?
Just the
like,
general you.
Yeah.
Would I, knowing about this prison, would I, and kind of the history of the family that, donated so much to its original construction, would I know of, not necessarily those past, but would I know who I could maybe ask?
Yes, you would.
Okay. That's something I think we could look into. I know a bit about the family that helped in the original construction.
Charlotte, what does it look like when you cast anything? I'm sorry, he would have said Charlie, not Charlotte. He doesn't know that name.
Wait,
sorry.
How do you know that?
Sorry.
Well, wait a
Sorry.
minute.
That was Camille.
It's fine. I'm not panicking at all. It looks like, for a lack of a better word, dust. I will reach out towards Tyrion, and I will place a hand on his shoulder, and when I do, it's like when you hit something that's really dusty and like a little plume of dust comes up, and I will cast guidance. And it shimmers. It's like a shimmer. It's not like ooh, dusty. It's like
Yeah,
there's like a shimmer.
Like
to it.
if you had a pile of like dusty glitter.
Yeah, but it's not. It's somewhere in between those two things. Yes,
Gotcha.
because it's very fine. Yeah.
When you do that, Tyrion actually, maybe not even from the guidance spell itself, but does give off a soft glow for a little bit longer than just the action of the spell itself.
Nikhil's eyes go wide. And you, wizard, are more than meets the eye as well, aren't you? Don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
Do you have any other information that is pertinent and or helpful? Or should we just be on our way then?
How obvious was that glow? From Tyrion.
I'm sorry?
How obvious
was that glow?
It's dim, so it would probably be noticeable to the naked eye. Maybe to someone not familiar with the arcane, it might just seem like, oh, that's what the guidance spell does. That's just an effect of the spell. But I would say that if Charlie were to cast guidance on someone else, that might not happen to them.
Once you get inside, security will be much more lax. Mostly just a lot of imps, a few bearded devils.
And who commands the prison?
They report up the chain to a horned devil who is, more often than not, preoccupied in the castle. He's in charge of interrogation of the Delaney family. Or what's left of them, at least.
Fine. Well, thank you. Unless anyone has anything else, I think we should be on our way.
I have a question. You spoke of the Delaney family. What do you know of their status?
I have not been in the temple and not been in the castle in quite some time. Is there one in particular you are concerned with? I know both parents have been slaughtered. Their bodies hung on the outside of the castle, as I'm sure you've seen. Reingard, the oldest son, followed. That was a month ago. I think they are working their way through, oldest to youngest.
Age-wise, the person that I'm thinking of, high?
Low.
Low.
Reingard, Celestia, Matthias, Nicholas, Olympia, Ingrid, Theodore.
God, so many kids. Okay.
7 kids.
You don't think that's going to stop anytime soon, I suppose?
Not until they get what they want.
Which is... what, exactly?
Above my pay grade.
I believe we have what we came for.
Question. Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
This will be fun. Has Tyrion mentioned or noted outwardly that he can speak Infernal and understand Infernal? He did it via message, but Jude wouldn't be aware of that. I'm just
right.
Has he made any other inkling that he speaks Infernal?
I don't think outwardly so, no.
Okay. Jude simply asked in Infernal to the devil.
Nikir.
Yeah, Nikir. One last question. What do you know of me?
Too much.
I look back at Terry and Briar, Charlie. Any other questions? Oh, common.
He replied in Infernal as well.
No. Not from me.
None of you have seen or
Sorry, I
heard
said
a peep
Briar.
from
I didn't
Briar.
mean to say
It's
Briar.
okay, it's okay.
Sorry.
But I mean, I'm definitely listening in, but you don't know that probably.
Yeah, again, passive is crap. I definitely know where you're at.
Briar's gone.
Briar's still looking out the window for all you know.
You're just like, bye. Oh, I'm in a different campaign now. Bye.
Not my scene.
But I do look at Charlie. Anything else?
No. I think this is good for now.
Good.
Where will you go from here tonight?
I will find a place. I don't exactly sleep. But I have many thoughts together. And you see from his back, whoosh, 2 massive sets of feathered black wings extend in 10 feet in either direction.
Right. I'd like to have one final word with this individual, if you all wouldn't mind giving us the room.
Oh my god, Raven.
Conflict in my head. Conflict in my head.
Roll the dice. Actually, Tyrion, you take a step forward. He takes a step forward closer to you, and in your head you hear, "What do you want to know?"
I want to know what your fascination is with Charlie's necklace, first off.
Are you still concentrating on Zone of Truth?
Yes, at this moment, I haven't dropped it. I wouldn't have dropped it yet.
Probably the same as your fascination with her. And he begins to turn away.
One last thing.
He stops.
Can I trust Jude?
Roll persuasion.
That one.
He looks back at you. Looks at Jude and Charlie. And he takes a moment and you see him look where Briar should be. About as much as you can trust anyone.
Fine. Before he takes another step, I'll say, I'm sorry, one last thing. Stay the fuck away from us. I don't want to see you again. And I will cast a magic circle, kind of binding him in place, kind of like a blue cylinder. The 10-foot cylinder will encapsulate him. Don't worry, it'll wear off a little bit, but I just don't want to be followed.
He turns to you with a smile. The wings furl back in. And he sits back down.
And Tyrion will turn and walk out at that point.
Jude is clutching his sword.
Casting time is 1 minute. On Magic Circle.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Then, yeah, maybe,
Why don't you, I tell you what, I kind of like this. Roll sleight of hand. Let's see if you could have been casting it this whole time.
You do have.
You have
19.
a crit and you've got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 19.
Okay. We'll keep it because I like it.
You also do have guidance too. Yep, because you have my guidance.
Right.
That only lasts a minute. That was a long time. Well, yeah,
Oh,
fuck it. We'll keep it too.
but
We'll keep that too.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. I like it.
Jude was clutching his sword, making strong choices that I credit on my choice about. But I sheathed the sword. And I do say still and infernal. I don't need to make a threat. Words mean nothing. If what I have done becomes public knowledge, the devils in this town fear me more than they fear you. I will find you. I am not smiting you where you stand, because this charade of arcane energy is cute. But please, don't make me do what I don't really feel like doing right now.
Say hello to Gideon for me. And Infernal.
You'll see him before I will. Jude will.
I'm going to take a few steps closer because I have not left yet. And I will stand outside of the circle, the magic shenanigans.
He will walk closer, not like invading your personal space closer, but just closer. You have questions.
I always have questions.
Well, I'm trapped here for quite some time.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I have quite the time to ask all the questions that I have.
Perhaps I should find you again. I think that we could help each other.
I don't know about that, but
You're certain?
I'm certain of very little. The world is ever changing. The nature of life. What I will say is that I do not know your past. I do not know the actions that you have taken. But I will say that the path and the direction from which you move now is entirely up to you. You don't have to carry your past with you. And then I will turn and I will begin to walk away.
Charlie. Is there redemption for everyone?
I'll turn back with a small smile. There is good in everyone. All you need to do is seek.
But not redemption.
I'll turn back around and take a step closer.
don't know if redemption is quite the word I would use. What's done is done. But I do believe that how you choose to move forward matters more than the choices you made yesterday. Change is possible for everyone.
You are an exquisite creature. That much I can tell. And I don't mean that about how you appear to the mortal eye. That pendant shows you. It's what you cast your magic through, isn't it? Do you see anyone's face? Hear any names?
I see the faces of those I tried to protect, the faces of those I've met, but I know that I don't.
That is very like him.
Him.
Good evening, Miss Charlie. I hope I see you again.
I'll give a slight nod, and I will go down the stairs to the rest of my party.
As you do so, you hear the bells of...
Notre Dame.
Yep. Of a bell tower from the castle. This usually 3 chimes usually signify curfew, but there is something that has happened 3 times now already, and that's a 5 chime, and that is when a member of the Delaney family is strung from above the castle. Their bodies on display. You hear first what you think are the 3 chimes of curfew, but then they ring out twice more.
How far away is that?
You are actually very close. If I look at my little map. You are, if anybody else is looking at their map, you are in that point of Charger's Farthing where the 2 areas, 2 long roads from those gates meet. And so you can actually see the walls of the castle from where you are. But you don't see anything currently. You wouldn't be able to see that far in the dark, and it would be you would know that they would be on the other side. You're looking at the back of the castle from where you are currently.
If we heard those, Tyrion would stop in his tracks and turn back to Charlie and kind of look up to her and say, I'm so sorry.
Let's get back. It's past curfew.
Tyrion will send a message to the general area where Briar is. Briar, I have no idea where you are, but we are moving out. If you would like to come back, I'm sure there are more sandwiches.
You don't hear a response. Seeing that Charlie left that door open, Briar is going to try to stealth and sneak up the stairs and try to get a peek at this entity.
Sure. Roll stealth check.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so that is a natural 15 plus 9, so 24.
Oh yeah, you feel very hidden. Super sneaky. What else is Briar good at? Lots of things, actually, but what else is she expertise in? You get, as you peek up through the top... Oh, I don't like this. As you peek up through the top, you see a man standing. He is wearing kind of dark clothes, very nondescript. He stands reasonably tall, maybe like about 6'1", now that he's standing, you can see. He has silver hair that hangs about his frame, light eyes, pale skin, slightly pointed ears, a bit of a scruff.
I don't even want to get up all the way in the room. I just want to be at the top of the stairs.
Sure. You can
just
see
like,
the,
yeah.
Yeah, you can see the
at
night
top of
sky
my-
above you. Yeah.
And I will just not call out, I will just say aloud.
How do we get to the tunnel?
The tunnel starts. Oh, what's it called? Hold on. Charger's firing. Starts at the back of Hone's smithy.
Come on, Najwa. And I'll just leave.
Najwa, before she follows you, walks up to the magic circle. Can she get in the magic circle? If she's with the standard, a cat,
It's blocking fiends.
Okay.
So if Najwa is a fiend, then no.
No, she's not a fiend. So she walks up to Nakir and twines just in his legs, like the things that cats do when they're trying to trip you. Gives him a very pointed, and then walks away.
What? I told you not to talk to strangers. Come on.
They don't make him much stranger than you, Briar.
Thank you.
Okay, I will go back downstairs and rejoin my friends. As I'm closing the hatch behind me, right when it's just like my eyes are the last thing visible, I'm gonna say,
I don't like you very much.
then I'm just gonna slam the hatch shut and go downstairs.
We picked the wrong building. It was a 50-50 shot, but we got.
Is your mic okay?
Yeah, right?
Okay. Just had some feedback.
Oh.
We have to go to the smithy. The tunnel is there.
Well, I don't believe that we are doing that part of the mission tonight. Curfew is passed, as well as something else, and I think it is time that we return to relative safety.
I'm going to ask a question to you, Taria. I do not mean this with offense. Do you have a connection to Charlie?
I have, I suppose, a minor history with Charlie. She and I knew each other when I used to operate in the library and the Temple of Ayun. She would come in for books and knowledge and things like that, and I would typically help her. I wouldn't presume to call it a friendship, but I believe that we were cordial with one another, if that's all right, Miss Westwood. But beyond that, I couldn't say.
I'll say nothing past that. I'll just start to continue on.
How, on our walk back, how out of the way is the castle? A lot out of the way, a little out of the way?
25% out of the way.
Ooh. What if we went not all the way out of the way to the castle, but out of our way enough that we could see?
You could do
so
that.
I can see who it is.
You can do that.
See if Nakir's estimation was correct in terms of the Delaney family and how.
If you communicate to Briar, she can get you there very quickly.
Raya, if we were to
take a small detour on the way back.
What for?
The information that Nakia gave us regarding the Delaney family. Given the recent chiming, I would just like to assess and see if it is accurate. We don't have to go all the way to the castle, but is there a way we could get there without adding too much time? I don't know the back alleys very well, and walking the main streets doesn't seem wise after curfew.
I mean, I will take you, but if they're already dead, they're already dead. There's nothing you can do now.
I know. Again, mostly checking.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll go this way then. And I'll just show them, kind of duck around to one side, take a slightly different route.
The 5 bells is that something that everyone knows or certain people knows?
It's become associated with it, so it's a common thing. It's happened 3 times before.
Cool. Once this detour begins to happen, I stop for a second. I look. Inward breath. I will follow.
Charlie, I need you to make a perception check as you get closer to the castle.
24.
You recognize it as Celestia. The rest of you would see a young woman who is roughly 30 years old. She has light blonde hair, blue, you can't really see her eyes or anything, but dressed in blue robes, blue and purple, the colors of the city. And she is slung next to the decaying bodies of her parents and her older brother.
I don't know.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead.
Just real quick. We didn't really delve into it too much, but just out of curiosity, how much of the families would I know?
You're pretty familiar. They're the sovereigns of the city. They're very well beloved. You would know that there is one who. There are rumors that he is not here. He left some time ago to go on an adventuring party. That's the youngest, Theodore, or Theo. Are you asking more about like what was she like?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I just knew, not necessarily her, but if I knew the family, if I had ever interacted with them past, adoration and stuff, like just because of my own personal connection.
Yeah, definitely. So it would have been very easy for you two to know each other pretty well. You would know that she was considered the love of the life of another, not noble family, but very powerful family within the Peloric community, the Lightbringer family. She was childhood best friends with and rumored to be engaged to Apollo, the oldest son of the Lightbringer family.
Apollo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess curious. I don't say anything. I was just wondering.
Definitely, and I'm happy to answer.
Miss Wood, did you know her?
I did. She was lovely.
How close is the resemblance with the siblings?
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Okay. She was lovely.
I'm very sorry. Do you have a happy memory of her?
I have many.
If you don't mind, think of one now. And if Charlie consents, Tyrion will use a combination of detect thoughts as well as encode thoughts, and he will generate a ribbon of that memory, kind of a glowing, like silken strand of literal thought, and he will tie it around Charlie's wrist.
Oh no.
This won't last forever, but it will help you remember the good things. And I have found that it helps.
Thank you, Tyrion. Thank you.
Of course.
Jude notices that Ken doesn't say anything, but if anyone is perceptive, you notice that he is intrigued is the wrong word, but that's something he's never seen before, and it's something he is somewhat interested in. But he says nothing again. He is still that same strong stone face.
So if you are a Patreon patron, you can go and look at one of our previous posts that's titled "A Family Rivalry That Nearly Destroyed a City, the Delaney's and the Declares." And you can see, I'll read you Celestia's write-up. Deceased at age 31, a brilliant and inventor and a master of the arcane arts, Celestia shone as a bright star of the Delaney family. She was kind, gracious, and her beauty was unparalleled. She was engaged to be married to the eldest Lightbringer family, Apollo, when she was killed. It doesn't take much longer for you all, although I would like a stealth check as you make your way back to avoid being seen.
That's a 27.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn an advantage.
Please do.
18.
It's 12 for me. They both were 10s at a disadvantage, so I'm not going to even try to cancel out the disadvantage. Just
You
don't get
know,
it.
it's a 15, so 16, you know. Super stealth.
Taryn, what'd you roll?
18.
Okay. Very good. You don't run into any trouble on your way back to the place that you all met? But Dave is there. He's at the writing desk, kind of filling out what looks like to be some reports. Oh, you're back already. Oh. Are you okay? Did anybody see you?
Yes, but hopefully that won't be an issue. We did get the information that we needed. We would believe it to be factual and accurate and hopefully helpful.
All right, Tyrion, well, you know the drill. Go ahead and write up a report on what you found.
Of course.
Bring it to the chain of command. And, we can give you your next assignment whenever you're ready.
Fair enough. Do all of you have a place to stay for the evening? If not, I do have a spare bedroom that any one of you would be welcome to.
I'm also sure that I have a spare room or two.
Does everybody have plans for how they're going to get home? Or back to wherever they're heading? You're welcome to stay here, but it's not very comfortable.
Yeah, how far away is home?
Very far for you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tyrion, not so much.
I can walk you back. I'll take you.
Okay.
Ryer, do you have a place to stay?
I stay everywhere. I stay all over. Yeah. I'm good.
Well, if you would like, since you've so graciously offered to walk me home, if you would like to stay, I'm sure you could find a spare room.
Briar just blushes furiously.
No. No, I have everything I need.
Okay.
Jude, are you all set as far as accommodations?
I'll be fine.
Okay, well, the invitation is always open to all of you. I have a safe place, aside from this one, of course. Alright, well, let's plan to meet back here just after dawn. I think, given the events of tonight, Jude was correct. Let's go ahead and scratch brunch. But, Brian, make sure you do grab a spare sandwich. Yeah, 3 meals a day should be normal.
I mean, I still have my half sandwich. That's good for a whole other day. I'm not worried.
Oof. Okay.
We better get going if we're gonna get you home, Charlie.
Right. I'll see you all in the morning then. I guess.
Judah watched them walk out, but he is looking at Charlie. Not like infatuation or anything like that, but a certain word was thrown out earlier, and that was hope. Though it was from Tyrion, Charlie's aura is what he's associating that with.
Do I catch that look?
Rob, he's subtle, but if you could, you can
But I'm
look at
sneaky.
you. But I'm sneaky. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's being like, huh? But you would see that like his head just kind of just goes with for a second.
Okay.
I will look back at Tyrion. Until tomorrow.
Sleep well.
You each make your way to your respective homes. Charlie, your respective accommodations. Charlie, your parents were a little worried, you being out after curfew, but you're able to kind of explain it away pretty easily. Briar, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think as I drop her off, I just obviously tuck into the shadows across the street and just watch her walk in and be greeted by her family.
Okay, my heart's broken. You feel your backpack grow heavy once again.
Okay, I'm glad you're back. I like it better when you're closer. Then I'll head home.
Do you open Najwa?
I think I do once I get home, because I want to talk to her, but I wanted to wait until we were by ourselves.
Sure, we can have just a few seconds of that if you'd like, a few moments.
Yeah. Well, I just mostly I just want to ask her. Once we're kind of barricade ourselves in and we're nice and quiet, I will just say, flipping through the pages, do I see anything?
Yes. You see a large, you just open it to whatever page like you do, and you see a picture of a creature. It's an nondescript creature. This creature is falling from the sky, and its wings are blackened.
How do you know him?
If you flip the page...
yeah, just flip to another random page.
You would see... a few words. He is well known. Very old.
Okay. As old as you?
Flip the page.
Older.
Whoa. Okay. Is he dangerous to us? Should we be afraid of him?
You flip and there's just a few pages of blank, which you imagine, is sort of like her way of thinking when she's in this form. And the response, you finally see a page that indicates you see a picture of a scale of balance. And one side is sort of like a light image, and the other side is a dark image. And they seem to be moving up and down slowly.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I guess we should just get some sleep. I'm gonna set the book down, wrap just a random cloth I have in my backpack, and lay down with my head on top of the book, like holding on to it.
Definitely. All right, friends, I think that is where we will end our first session. Let's go ahead and do our sign outs. Go ahead and say, promote yourself wherever you like, say whatever Twitter, social media handles you'd like, and any upcoming projects that you'd like to talk about. You want to start us off, Mindy?
Oh, hey, I'm Mindy. I had the privilege of playing Charlie tonight. You can find me here on this channel Monday nights as well, at 6:30 Central Time, playing Luna for Fates Chosen. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Miss Mindykins. I do weird, I just play scary games on Twitch sometimes on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, and it's a great time. It's terrifying, but like a fun, terrifying time. My favorite part for tonight, there were so many good moments that I have written down. I'm gonna stick with a light one because that's kind of my MO for the call out in this realm. Was Briar's, wait, you all eat 3 meals a day? What? That was really great. Yeah, and I have many more call outs that we'll wait for after stream is over.
Definitely. Chris?
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris. I, like to hang out. I will be here every Saturday morning for the next several weeks. You can find me on Twitter at Kiss of Hemlock. I'm also in a super cool masks campaign every other Tuesday on the Off the Table Twitch channel. So you should check that out as well. Yeah, my favorite part. I don't think it's necessarily I don't know if it's happy or sad. I think my favorite part for sure was hanging back in the shadows. Briar learned a lot. So I was having a whole experience while you guys were talking, but I really enjoyed the dynamic between the group, the 3 of them and Nakir, and just kind of watching all that unfold was super cool.
Thanks, Chris. CB?
Hey, I'm Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard across all social media channels. You can catch me everywhere, honestly. What's today? Today is Saturday. Wow. Tomorrow you can actually catch me on my channel at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 2 p.m. Pacific, for the 2nd episode of Creature Collectors, which is a show that I produce, run by Lily Sparks with Mackenzie DeArmas, Abria Iyengar, aka Quiddy, and Jesse Inokalia, aka Soren from the Dragon Prince, and myself. It's a really good game. It's fun as hell. If you can't watch it, the YouTube video will go up on Wednesday of next week. Also, the VOD is available. On Tuesday, you can catch me on my channel for In Unison, which is a show where I duet with a different person in the community. And this upcoming Tuesday is Jason Charles Miller, famous bard who I adore and can tenor for days. And I was just like, swoon. Very excited. He's going to be singing and just having a good time and chilling. But I do want to specifically shout out that next week, I'll say it again next week, but next Friday, I'm part of Rivals of Waterdeep for D&D Celebration, which is going to be going on all weekend, which is going to be a time where the community gets to show, gets the support that they have deserved for so long. So I'm very excited to be a part of that. And also on Saturday of next week, after this game, I will be hosting a panel on what it means to be a bard. And that's going to include Christina Ariel, Kelly Butler, aka the Opera Geek, Eugenio Vargas, and Lauren Urban from D&D Beyond. Very excited to host that, and I hope you all can be there. My favorite part, I have many parts, but the part that's just sticking with me right now, in Cold Thoughts, the ribbon was nice. That was interesting, and it stuck with you. Also, I'm going to really quickly say Fire Frost Gaming, that's actually something we're going to talk about, because bards don't freaking seduce dragons. I'm over it.
Okay.
Some bards seduce anybody.
Yeah, some bards don't seduce anybody.
As a bard in real life, I do not care for that trope, and we're going to dissect it. So, sorry, not to call you out, but
can't wait to see it.
Talked about. Anywho. Okay.
Thanks, CB. And Derek.
Now, CB, you were just on an episode of Dragon Talks too, weren't you? Podcast?
Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that, Law. Yeah, you can go on YouTube and all the podcasts, and you can see me on Dragon Talk talking with Greg Tito and Shelly. Yeah, it was awesome.
As a subscriber, I enjoyed. But yeah, for me, hi everybody. I am Derek Sword. Yes, that is my real name. Yes, it is awesome. No, you can't have it, but thanks for asking. I am DSword16 on almost all social media. You can find my dogs on sword_dogs on Instagram. Let's see. Friday nights, I play a swampy bugbear druid named Griaz. That is on Graham Cracker's Twitch channel. That's for Goldshine Investigations. That is Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Saturday afternoons, I'm here. Saturday evenings, I DM on the Stalwart Initiative. I am currently running Ventures in the Verse, which is a Mage Hand Press Dark Matter campaign. Nice. We are a little over halfway through, and it heavily involves mecha demons now, so it's getting really good. So definitely check that out. We are skipping this week, so we will be back next week. That's 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. Every other Tuesday, I play in the Old West Call of Cthulhu Shadows over Stillwater. That is 7 p.m. Eastern on Uncanny Adventures. And I am also the co-host of the lovely podcast Monster Crush. Every episode, my co-host Heavily and I discuss different monsters. We try to find the best monster smooches. We look at an assortment of cryptids, monsters, aliens, ghosts, and other miscellaneous paranormal entities, and discuss their validity and potential as romantic partners. Monster Crush can be found wherever podcasts are found.
Very good.
And your favorite part?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did all that talking, didn't say the important thing. My favorite part, actually, I really liked Jude's coup de grace. I especially liked the nat 20 on it, but I loved the ruthlessness of it, which I think is important. The overall thing I really enjoyed was all the secrets. Everybody's got secrets, and I'm really into it. Except maybe Charlie, who's just like this open book surrounded by secrets. But yeah, you never know. But no, as far as an action goes, yeah, the coup de grace to a demon after just using command successfully, making it drop to the floor, and then just driving the sword into the cranium was pretty badass.
Pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek. I'm Camille, the Dungeon Master for today. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. You can also find the channel on Twitter at Open4Adventure. Please give us a follow there. If you like what you saw today, find a way to support us however you can. There are lots of free ways to do that. You can do that by giving us a follow on Twitter or Twitch. You can also, if it's within your means, give us a subscribe here. You can also become a Patreon patron or donate in chat. We have I've used 1 bar of corruption, so I'll take 1 down. We have 1 bar of corruption still left. We will see what that single corruption bar looks like next week. Yeah, I do lots of stuff. You can find me on Discord. I do all the things. Fate's Chosen with Mindy. Sunday stream resuming on the 20th. It's gonna be very good. The point of corruption was used for there being those 2 devils on top of the roof. Was the single point. Yeah. All right. We will see y'all same time, same place next week. Be kind to each other. We'll be back. Bye.
Bye.
fuzzies we forgot?
I forgot about Warm Fuzzies, Mindy.
Oh no.
Who are the-
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
no.
Who are the Warm Fuzzies?
Oh no. Okay. So we have Belchavez.
Belchavez.
And then we have the Andrew Belch by the tables, Bay of Gifts.
Bay of Gifts.
And then we have, I'm finding my list. It's somewhere. I can know where it is. And we have Quincy.
What is happening?
Oh, we're Warm Fuzzies. These are our Patreon subscribers who subscribe to a specific level where we read their names at the end.
In a weird voice.
What is happening?
Guildmaster Seb. And then we have Christina. And then we have PJ. And then
PJ. Scammers. I think that's everybody.
Thank you, Warm Fuzzies,
We love you very much.
for your support. We love you.
Thank
Okay,
you,
goodbye
man.
for real.
Okay, bye for real.
For real.